Many have been wondering which path Babuino will take to arrive at the Nairobi gubernatorial seat, and I think we finally have the answer. The answer is Wiper Party. I say this because yesterday Babuino took over 1,000 student leaders across Kenya, mind you, to go see Kalonzo Musyoka. And guess what? For the first time ever, I have seen Babuino donning a Wiper cap. A move that I'm sure will get bashed by some idle leaders in ODM, but the people will endorse. In fact, here's a video of Babuino rocking the Wiper cap. And if that is annoying to watch for Baba and his confused loyalists like Robert Alai, guess what? It doesn't end there. Babuino took it a notch higher by endorsing Kalonzo Musyoka for the presidency. Here's the tip.
2027, Kalonzo ametosha datosha. Kama alikuwa Azimio, Kalonzo alikuwa mzuri. Saizi kama Kalonzo ako opposition, sasa Kalonzo ni mbaya. Kalonzo amekosa nini so far? Amekosa nini so far? Ati tukisema pia Kalonzo tosha, ati Babu ni mbaya. Mbaya what?
Now in this video I want us to look into some of the reasons why it's actually a good idea for Babuino to vie for governor using Wiper Party. And so with no further ado, let's get after it. The first reason why Babuino should use Wiper as his political vehicle is because upon joining Wiper Party, Babuino won't have to start as a foot soldier who's working his way up. No. From the word go, he will be installed as Wiper deputy party leader. Not my words. Here's Kalonzo Musyoka saying it.
Wote tunawakaribisheni. How I wish Babuino, we are amending our party's constitution to make it like ODM. There'll be a party leader. There'll be 4 deputy party leaders. I would have wished to give Babuino 1 deputy party leadership. Because we must change it.
So from the Secretary General, the party chairman, the Wiper National Treasurer, and all the other party officials other than Kalonzo Musyoka himself will be answerable to Babuino from day one of joining Wiper. And that brings me to advantage number 2 for Babuino if he were to vie on a Wiper ticket. And that's the fact that no one will be able to rob him during the party primaries. We have seen some nonsense in ODM whereby children are allowed to vote in a party primary just so that they can inflate the numbers of their preferred candidate, Boyd Were. We saw it happen in Kasipul. In fact, for those who missed it, here's the tip.
Yung election pay what give go. In bed most chandi. We jogo kokora. Nick in lane.
That bad habit of outsiders being allowed to vote in party primaries can never happen in Wiper. And if at all it must happen, it will happen in favor of Babu Owino. The third advantage that Babu has if he contests using Wiper Party is tied down to history. You see, historically, only governors who are allied to presidential candidates get to carry the day in Nairobi. Look at Kidero, he won under ODM when Raila was the presidential candidate. Sonko won under Jubilee when Uhuru was the presidential candidate. Sakaja won under UDA when Ruto was the presidential candidate. So based on that logic, Babu would be disadvantaged to vie using ODM, yet Raila won't be on the ballot. He can't even use DCP because Rigiji has legal challenges that he first has to beat before we can talk about him being on the ballot. So as at now, Wiper Party is the place to be for Babu Owino because we are sure 2027 it will be Kalonzo versus Kasongo. And the Kalonzo wave could very well carry Babu Owino across the finish line. So if you see anybody out there telling Babu Owino that he should vie on an independent ticket, that person is not a friend of Babu Owino, that person is not looking out for his interest, that person does not care about Nairobi na anataka tu kupea Sakaja through pass. Because how do you protect your vote as an independent candidate? There are so many polling stations within just one ward. Each ward inakwanga na almost 4 or 5. Scale that up to constituencies. And then I'll go all the way to a county. Are you able to put 4 or 5 observers in each polling station? And we know how the politics of Kenya is. Ili usiibiwe, you don't just put observers. You also have to put goons. Observers wanakaa pale ndani wakihesabu na kuhakikisha waibiwi, na huku nje ni goons, ndo wale IEBC officials wasijaribu kucheza na kura ya wananchi. Lazima wakae hapo walinde. Doing that as an independent candidate is damn near impossible, especially when you scale it up to a county level. But when you are within a party, more so a party that has a presidential candidate, one of the 2 main presidential candidates for that matter, it is very easy for your interest to be taken care of. Sababu yule observer amekwa pale na chama. He's not just there for Babu Owino. The Wiper observers, they'll be there to look out for the MCA wa Wiper, the MP wa Wiper, the governor wa Wiper, the presidential candidate wa Wiper. So even if you didn't have that much cash flow to field all these people all across, because the main guy has a good cash flow through donations and other means, hata easy shares the political parties fund, Babu Owino won't have to spend as much to protect his vote. So if he has to use a party, it has to be Wiper. ODM will not field a candidate, and even if they do, they're not willing to endorse Babu Owino. UDA have Sakaja already. DCP have legal trouble for their party leader. He has to first get over that legal hurdle. Wiper is what makes sense. And by the way, if there's anybody doubting that Wiper is going to field a record number of MPs come 2027, just listening to this speech from Moses Wetangula when he was being kicked out in the Senate.
I want to tell my colleagues in ODM, for avoidance of any confusion, that for the last two presidential elections, we have supported a candidate fronted by ODM. And that is the reason why there are more in both houses than their partner parties. If Kalonzo Musyoka was the presidential candidate, probably Wiper Democratic Movement Party would be having the majority because of the advantages that goes with being a candidate.
Now what say you guys? Do you think Babu Owino should consider Wiper as his political vehicle to get to the gubernatorial seat of Nairobi? Or should he go independent? Or should he launch his own party? Just drop me your own comments in the comment section below and I'll do my best to read them and to give you a response. And with that, here's today's ad of the day. If you're in need of electrical wiring, solar installation, or electrical fittings such as strip lights, snake lights, downlighters, or chandeliers, contact Engineer Wycliffe at 0707 476602 and he'll get your house dapped up. Now, if you're here for the first time, please go on and hit the subscribe button. And if you're watching for a different platform, just head on over to YouTube, search for David Wafula, hit the subscribe button. You're going to be getting a ton of content of this nature. If politics is something you're passionate about, this is definitely the one channel that you really need to subscribe to. All right, guys, adios. Thank you for choosing David Wafula as your primary news platform. We put countless hours in research, recording, and editing. By showing up each and every day to watch our videos, you encourage us to generate more videos for the viewers. We are on a mission to inform, educate, and build a better tomorrow. To our thousands of followers in a world full of presidents, kings, and queens, you are the real gem. Adios.